Nigeria's story is one of triumph and struggle. It's a tale of a nation born from hope, a country that has faced great challenges, and a people who have shown remarkable resilience. On October 1st, 1960, Nigeria gained its independence from British rule. The world watched as a new African giant emerged. With vast natural resources and a vibrant population, Nigeria seemed poised for greatness. But the path ahead would not be easy. Over the decades, Nigeria has weathered military coups and civil war. It has grappled with corruption and economic hardship. The nation has faced threats from extremist groups, yet through it all, the Nigerian spirit has endured. Today, Nigeria stands at a crossroads, facing ongoing challenges but also great opportunities. With a young, energetic population and abundant resources, Nigeria's potential is immense. Independence Day in Nigeria was a moment of jubilation. The air was filled with excitement and promise. People danced in the streets, celebrating their newfound freedom. Leaders spoke of a bright future for the young nation. It was a time of great hope and optimism. Two key figures emerged as symbols of this new era. Abubakar Tafawa Balewa became Nigeria's first Prime Minister. He was known as the Golden Voice of Africa for his eloquent speeches. Nnamdi Azikiwe took on the role of Governor-General, later becoming the first president. These men represented the dreams of a free Nigeria. Prime Minister Abubakar Tafawa Balewa as Prime Minister Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. We stand at the dawn of a new era, filled with hope and promise for our beloved nation. The new government faced enormous challenges. They had to unite a diverse nation with over 250 ethnic groups. They needed to build a strong economy and improve living standards. Despite these hurdles, there was a sense that anything was possible. Nigeria's vast oil reserves promised economic prosperity. The optimism of independence was short-lived. In 1966, a military coup shook the nation. It was the beginning of a turbulent period. The military took control of the government. Political instability became the norm. Nigeria's young democracy was put on hold. General Yakubu Gowon as General Yakubu Gowon. In these challenging times, we must strive for unity and peace. General Yakubu Gowon emerged as a key figure during this time. He became the head of state in 1966. Gowon faced the enormous challenge of keeping Nigeria united. Tensions between different regions and ethnic groups were rising. The situation was becoming increasingly volatile. In 1967, these tensions erupted into civil war. The eastern region declared independence as Biafra. What followed was a brutal conflict that lasted nearly 3 years. Millions of lives were lost, leaving deep scars on the Nigerian psyche. The civil war ended in 1970, with Nigeria remaining united, but the challenges were far from over. After years of military rule, Nigeria saw a glimmer of democracy. In 1979, power was handed back to civilians. Shehu Shagari became the country's first democratically elected president. It was a moment of renewed hope for many Nigerians. They believed their nation was back on track. But this period of civilian rule was short-lived. The challenges were immense. Economic problems plagued the country. Corruption remained a significant issue. Political tensions continued to simmer. The young democracy struggled to find its footing. In 1983, the military stepped in once again. Another coup brought an end to civilian rule. General Muhammadu Buhari took control of the government. It was a setback for Nigeria's democratic aspirations. Despite the setbacks, the dream of true democracy never died. Section 5. The Democratic Transition. A new era begins. 1999 marked a turning point in Nigeria's history. The country finally transitioned back to civilian rule.
I was elected president, and it was the beginning of Nigeria's Fourth Republic. A new era of democracy had begun.
Obasanjo's presidency brought significant changes. He introduced economic reforms to boost growth. Efforts were made to tackle corruption. Nigeria's international standing improved. The country began to play a larger role in African affairs. There was a sense of cautious optimism about the future.
But, the path of democracy was not smooth. Old challenges persisted. Corruption remained a major problem. Economic inequality was still widespread. Regional and ethnic tensions continued to simmer. Despite these challenges, democracy took root.
Section 6. Challenges in elections, striving for fair representation. Elections in Nigeria have been a mix of hope and controversy. Each vote is a step towards stronger democracy. But the process has often been marred by problems. Violence and fraud have been recurring issues. These challenges threaten the integrity of Nigeria's democracy.
One of the biggest concerns has been electoral violence. Elections have sometimes led to clashes between rival groups. Intimidation of voters is not uncommon. In some cases, lives have been lost. This violence undermines the democratic process. It makes many Nigerians wary of participating in elections.
Another major issue is electoral fraud. There have been accusations of vote rigging and ballot box stuffing. Some elections have been disputed due to irregularities. This erodes public trust in the system.
Despite these challenges, progress has been made. Each election sees improvements in the process.
Section 7. Persistent problems, corruption and security concerns. Corruption remains one of Nigeria's most pressing issues. It affects every level of society, from government offices to everyday transactions. Billions of dollars have been lost to corrupt practices. This drains resources that could be used for development. Efforts have been made to tackle corruption. Anti-corruption agencies have been established and some high-profile cases have been prosecuted. But the problem persists. It's deeply rooted in the system. Security is another major concern for Nigeria. The threat of terrorism looms large. Boko Haram, an extremist group, has caused immense suffering. They have carried out attacks in the northeast, leading to thousands of lives being lost and many more being displaced. Addressing these security concerns is crucial for Nigeria's future. Section 8. Economic potential, Nigeria's resources and workforce. Nigeria's economy is the largest in Africa. It's rich in natural resources, especially oil. The country has vast reserves of crude oil and natural gas. These resources have been the backbone of Nigeria's economy, bringing in significant revenue over the years. But reliance on oil has also created challenges. The government is working to diversify the economy with a push to develop other sectors like agriculture, manufacturing and technology. This diversification is crucial for sustainable growth. One of Nigeria's greatest assets is its people. The country has a large, young population. This demographic dividend could drive economic growth. Many young Nigerians are entrepreneurial and tech-savvy. With the right support, they could transform Nigeria's economy. The potential for growth is enormous. Section 9. Cultural richness, Nigeria's diverse heritage. Nigeria's cultural diversity is one of its greatest strengths. The country is home to over 250 ethnic groups, each with its own unique traditions and languages. This diversity creates a rich tapestry of Nigerian culture. Nigerian art and literature are celebrated worldwide. Writers like Chinua Achebe and Wole Soyinka have won international acclaim. Nigerian music from Afrobeat to modern pop is popular across Africa and beyond. The country's film industry, Nollywood, is the second largest in the world. These cultural exports showcase Nigeria's creativity and talent. Food is another important aspect of Nigerian culture. Each region has its own specialties. From jollof rice to suya, Nigerian cuisine is diverse and flavorful. Food often plays a central role in social gatherings and celebrations. This balance between tradition and modernity is part of Nigeria's ongoing story. Section 10. Looking to the future. Nigeria's resilience and promise. As Nigeria moves forward, it faces both challenges and opportunities. The road ahead is not easy, but there's reason for hope. Nigerians have shown remarkable resilience. They have overcome many obstacles in the past. This strength will be crucial in shaping the country's future.
Education is key to Nigeria's progress. More young Nigerians are gaining access to schooling. Universities are producing skilled graduates. There's a growing focus on technology and innovation. These educated youth could drive Nigeria's development. They represent the country's best hope for the future.
Nigeria's democracy continues to evolve. Each election brings lessons and improvements. Civil society is becoming stronger. More Nigerians are engaged in the political process. The story of Nigeria is still being written, and its people are determined to make it a story of success.